Shalom, shalom. This is a brother Amawan coming to you with another lesson for the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. First and foremost, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth and continue to do so. Peace and blessings to the Archim out there, the brothers doing this work in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. And much love to the Archim and the Archif out there that is listening, learning, believing on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, waiting for the downfall of this, wicked kingdom, man. So we can establish our kingdom under Yahweh Shai righteousness, man. Right, so, the title of this lesson will be, Does the Bible Justify Slavery? And, you find that a lot of our people, Israelites, will use, slavery in the scriptures to justify them not believing in the scriptures or them not getting down with the truth. And, this is also something that, just people in the world, of the other nations also use that as a reason to not adhere to what the word is, man. And the truth of the matter is that the scriptures do justify it, man. All right. It condemns it for our people, really. We're not supposed to be in captivity, man. The only reason we're in captivity is because it's punishment. We basically spat in the face of the Most High, man. Not literally, but basically with our actions, we turn our back on the Most High, so he turned his back on us, man. Right, I'll get some scriptures on that, but I wanted to start with this as some examples. So Leviticus 25:38 says, I am the Lord Yahweh, your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. Right? And it says, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt. So he redeemed us out of that land, man. Through his servant Moses. And, remember Moses was brought up in that land, man, as one of them. But the Spirit was so strong upon him because he is one of us, that, the Lord put the Spirit on him to bring us out of that captivity, man. We're not the same as the rest of the world, man. The rest of the world are made for our sakes, right? They're meant to serve us because the Lord chose us as a people. That's just the bottom line of it. Hate or love it. Verse 39 says, if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as an hired servant, and as a sojourner he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubile. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigour, but shalt fear thy power. It says, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. So, really, Jake's Israelites can't use the scriptures as an excuse, because ultimately the captivity is not targeted towards them. It's to really target towards the heathen, and they're supposed to. We all supposed to rule over these heathens and have them as bondmen and bondwomen, handmaids and hand servants, man. All right. It's only that it's happened to us because of our transgressions that they feel that way about it. It says, moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. So there you have it, plain and simple. The heathens are meant for us, man. You know, if we didn't transgress the laws, then we would already be in that position. You know, that's just the way the Lord set it up. You know, hate it or love it, that's just the way it is, man. You know, I could go further, but that's kind of made the point with that, all right? What else? So I can bear with me, bear with me. Am I looking in the right one? 1 second. Okay. So here is you know, the example of the servant Moses, man, right? So Exodus 9:1 says, Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. And it says of the Hebrews, and you know, look, you have Hebrew, Edomites, Ishmaelites, Israelites, you know, Moabites. But this is talking about the Israelites, man, because this is before that establishment. Excuse me. The establishment of the you know, that the word Israelites is not, you know, that's about to come into in this actual chapter. You know, so you know, just making a point that there's more than just, you know, it's not just Hebrew Israelites. You have other Hebrews, man, because at that time everybody was speaking that language. Well, not, you know, people were speaking. The Hebrews were speaking Hebrew, and it's not just the Israelites. Anyway, I'm going off a little bit on a tangent there, so let me just continue on. So I'll start again. It says that then the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and will hold them still, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain. And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of that is of the children of Israel. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. So anyway, look, the point is that, you know, we was in the captivity, because I'm not going to read all of this because I've got plenty of scriptures I want to get through. But we was in captivity, and then that was against the wishes of the Lord, because we're supposed to be on the reverse of that. So this is just another example of the Lord not wanting us in captivity, man. All right. And this is one of the verses that they like to use. That's the, well, you know, against the scriptures, man. Basically, they want to use the scripture against the scriptures. Ephesians 6:5, it says, Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters, according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Hamashiach. And look, the word master just really means teacher, man. But sometimes this blue letter goes off, you know. But look, it's like, you know, everywhere, everybody has someone that's over them in this world, man. Well, nearly everybody, except for these wicked rulers, man. But they still have the Most High over them anyway. But you get what I'm saying. You know, if I go to work tomorrow, there's someone over me that I have to basically obey in order to keep my job and to keep my wages going into my bank account, right? This is not talking about slavery, right? This is not telling, and these are the same scriptures that the slave masters used to entrap our people, man, and to keep them, you know, in that state. And there's the very scriptures that, you know, you weren't allowed to read. And look at this one, Colossians 4. This is to go along with that. Colossians 4:1 says, Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that ye also have a master in heaven. So it's all about treating people the correct way, man. All right. And this is of our own people, all right. That must be reiterated. We don't deal with each other like the heathens deal with us, or we deal with the heathens. We deal with each other according to the laws, man. We're supposed to love one another as brethren, as Israelites, right? But these heathens are against us, man. Let me get one real quick in Psalms. Psalms 83. It says, I'm just going to start at verse 2. It says, For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have to come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? And that's what they've done, man. They hidden, you know, that iconoclasm, they covered the, you know, they painted over the pictures, and they got rid of the statues and all the documents and everything else, man. Everybody else knows their history. They can go into their family lineage through writings and whatnot, records, but we can't. You know, as far as they'll let it go back to is captivity, man. You know, and that's all done by the will of the Lord anyway. He said he would, Israel will be no more in remembrance, man. But that's of the Lord, right? It says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So they're our enemies. They're against us, man. So it's only right that we be against them, and we want to do to them what they've done to us. And it goes into the, you know, the houses of Edom, the tabernacles of Edom and of the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, Tyre, you know. So that everybody's against us, man. You know. I've got one loaded up. Right, so First Maccabees 2, and I'll just start from the top. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jarub from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons, Johanan, called Cadiz, Simon called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar called Avaran, and Jonathan, whose name was Aphas. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there? And when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of the strangers, so like, yeah, her temple is become as a man without glory. Her vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. And it goes on to say in verse 10, this is the point I want to get to, what nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? So yes, this is the reason why we're going to have to flip it now, or the Lord's going to flip it, I should say, and put them into captivity, right? You know, the reason, you know, we got what was coming to us, man, because we betrayed the Lord, basically, man. All right, I'll get a couple of examples on this. All right, Ezekiel 39, I start at 21. It says, and I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. Where the Lord's glory. So the other heathens have seen, they look upon us, you know, they know we're at the bottom, right? They know we're in a sad state. You know, they've done nothing to uplift us or help us out of it, right? Verse 22 says, so the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh, their power, from that day and forward, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore I hid my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. According to their uncleanness, and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. Right? It says, after that they have borne their shame, and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. When I brought them again from the people, and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, I am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. And that's future, man. Right? The Lord is going to do that, man. These other nations are going to know in the kingdom who we are and who the Lord's dealing with, man. Right? And he's going to sanctify us, but we're going to exalt him, man. All right? We're going to exalt Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in the kingdom. All right? Because that's what this is all about, man. That's why the Lord made us in the first place, man. To exalt him. He didn't make us for us to be exalted by him, although he is going to do that. You know, because we're his beloved. Verse 28 says, then shall they know that I am the Lord Yahweh, their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. So he caused it, like I'm just going into now. But I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right. Let me just get a couple more on our punishment, man. We'll go to Deuteronomy 28. And 68. And it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And that's talking about the transatlantic slave trade and the Arab slave trade. You know, the Lord, he scattered us, man, among the heathens for punishment, man. That's why our people don't have a clue. It's only now that they're starting to wake up, and they're not really waking up. They're just getting, they're kind of like their eyes are opening a little bit, because the likes of these celebrities are starting to talk, man. But at the end of the day, only a remnant of Israel is going to be saved, man. So it doesn't matter how many celebrities stand up and tell the rest of these jakes the truth. They're never going to get it like the way we get it, man. I'll get one more on the punishments, man. Isaiah 42. All right, and I'll start at 18. It says, "Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see." The deaf of the blind, of those that don't want to listen and look to this truth, right? They turn their heads, man. Then the Lord calls them a stiff-necked people, man. They can't turn towards the truth. It says, "Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant?" And the Lord deemed uh, Jacob perfect, man. He said he was a plain man, and that means perfect. "Seeing many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, Restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?" And really, who's going to hear? The elect is going to hear, man. The elect are going to hear, and though the small remnant that's destined for that salvation are the only ones that are going to hear. These jakes out there, they think they're hearing because, it takes a celebrity who's already sold his soul and sacrificed whatever it took to get there to the position that he's in or they are in, to have the riches and the fame and the fortune that they have. That's who who they want to get their truth from, man. Just false idols, man. Because they're idols. The people idolize these celebrities, man. But here we have the men of the Lord on the streets, humble, doing this for for the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, for truth's sake, not asking for a penny, delivering the truth gratis, man, for free. There's a scripture I'm going to try and find for that, actually. "Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of Baal, and it hath set him on fire round about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart." Yeah, that's all the afflictions that we've been catching, man. Catching hell in this world, man. Still looking for Esau to do right by us, or still looking to build by ourselves, man. We have a power that is been waiting for us to turn our faces towards him, man. Right? But at the end of the day, this is only for a small remnant, as I said already, man. Let me see if I can find what I was going to look for. Let's see if it's maybe. If I can't find it, I can't find it. But maybe it will come to me. Anyway, I won't waste time trying to find out what I'm looking for right now. If anyone watches this, they can maybe put it in the comment section if I don't get it. But I think, yeah, so it goes kind of like when a rich man speaks, the people listen, but when a poor man speaks, he's ignored. I'm butchering that, but yeah, that's kind of the gist. Anyway, so we have been put through a ringer by the Lord, man. And as I said, the question in this lesson is, does the Bible justify slavery? And yeah, it does, man, because ultimately it justifies the captivity of the heathens, and especially those that deserve punishment for what they've done to the children of Israel, man. All right. What was I going to get? So Psalms 2:8 says what? I'll start from 7. It says, I will declare the decree, the Lord have said unto me, thou art my son, this day I have begotten thee. And it's talking about Israel, right? Verse 8 says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and for the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. It says, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. See? So we're going to rule over them, and it's not going to be nice for them, especially the Edomites, man, because they got a lot to pay for. They've if they had enough time, they would destroy us as a people completely off the face of the earth, man. They're trying to do that. They're trying to use, the alphabet agenda and Planned Parenthood and poisoning the food and targeting us genetically now. They can target us genetically, man, with particular things in food and stuff to destroy us as a people, man. So these Edomites ain't messing around. They want us gone because we're a threat to them, man. We're a threat to their kingdom because with us around, they know that their time is going to come to an end. So like Isaiah 51:17 says, awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling and wrung them out. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth, neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she hath brought up. But we're out here on our own right now, man, until the Lord comes, until Yahweh comes back. And his men, his prophets, his elect, he's with them. He's with them. But as a nation, of people, as a whole nation, the Lord is forsaking Israel for now. It says, these two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Thy sons have fainted, they lie at the head of all the streets. As a wild bull in a net, they are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine, because we're afflicted with, just punishment, man. Punishment and, just indoctrinations of this wicked world, man. Sin. Afflicted with sin, man, iniquity. Verse 22 says, thus saith the Lord, thus saith thy Lord, the Lord. So let me read that correctly. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord Yahweh, and thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt drink no more it again. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. Because they walk all over us, man. They treat us like shit. We are nothing to these heathens, man. They've afflicted us heavily, man. And so it's only right that we return, that upon their heads, man. I'm going to get 2 more scriptures, man, because this is going on longer than I wanted it to, if I'm honest. Right, Jeremiah 30, 16. No, I want to start at 15. It says, why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. So we just kept, and even to this day right now, in 2022, our people are getting even more and more wicked and evil, man. And that's good, because they're ripening themselves with this evil for Yahweh to come back and do what must be done. They just got to go, man. They've got to go until we re-establish the kingdom and they come back through, through birth, man. All right, because they can't enter into the kingdom the way that they are. They just can't happen, man. Verse 16 says, therefore all that they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Right, so that is their future. That's the future of the heathens, man. All right. Rightfully so, man. And I'm going to read this one last. I'm going to close out on this one. Revelation 13 and 9 says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Right? In fact, there was one more I wanted to read. And this, I'll end off on this one. This one. Yes. Exodus 21 and 16 says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So there's 2 punishments for the captivity, man. Death and captivity, man. So that answers the question. Does the Bible justify slavery? Yes, it does. Of course it does. Because the Lord is about balance, man. Look what these people have done to his people. Us, the Israelites. You blacks, so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. And, and you Jake scattered among the heathens, man. These other heathens, these heathens have got a lot to pay for, man. And the Lord's going to reverse it on them. All right. So yes, the scriptures justify slavery. All right. Hate it or love it. So with that, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. And I'll say Shalom. Lord willing, this was edifying. And yeah, Shalom to the next one.